What's up, guys? I want to talk about things that I learned while riding a motorcycle. You know, a thing that a beginner rider starts to figure out in the first 6 to 7 months of when he starts riding, because, you know, that's how long I've been riding. So let's talk about it. First off, you have to excuse me if you hear me sniffling or something like that. My allergies have been acting up like crazy. The first thing I figured out while riding a motorcycle is people really don't care to listen to you talk about your motorcycle unless they have one. You want to talk about your motorcycle, you want to talk about your ride and how things are different, you did this and that, but if they don't have one, it's not too interesting to hear from them because they can't really relate. You know, most people, all they know about a motorcycle is, oh, it's dangerous, or I know someone who got in an accident on a motorcycle and now they messed up their hip, their leg, their back, something. You know, so unless they ride or used to ride or something like that, then talking to someone who doesn't own a motorcycle about your motorcycle, it's I mean, I think they understand that you have a passion for it, so they're not just going to ignore you, but they're really not as interested to hear it than, let's say, if you both like football and then you start talking about football, then they have something to contribute to the conversation to, you know. The second thing I figured out while riding is the smells, and I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos. And actually, Knoxville Moto, we'll shout him out, he actually mentioned it too. Being connected with your bike in the world of this instead of in a car is completely different. You smell everything. You can smell cigarette smoke coming from a car. You could just be riding past someone's house and, hey, they're cooking up barbecue and you smell it. Manure, you can smell manure. You are connected to the world on a vehicle without the filter of the shell of a car, you know, and all its windows. And I can go from smelling these trees and flowers to all of a sudden smelling some industrial smoke, and then being up here and smelling some cows and farm animal stuff. It's crazy, man. You're just so connected with the world in a different way. Man, another thing I figured out is wind is crucial, man. Wind, as far as like temperature, if you look and it says 50, 60 degrees and you're about to go out for a ride, you know, like, oh, it doesn't feel that bad. The second your motorcycle starts moving, holy, that thing drops to like 30 degrees, and you better be dressed for that. Another thing I found out are highways are king. Let's talk about the highways. Let's really get into this from a beginner rider standpoint. You're gonna be scared to get on the highway. I get it, I understand. Everything is fast. The wind could be really intimidating. Let me tell you why I love being on the highways. All the traffic is going one way. You really don't have to worry about anyone else too much instead of being on the street. Think about it. Anytime you see these motorcycle crash videos, it always happens at an intersection on the street, right? The highway, everyone's moving forward. As long as you flow with or faster than traffic, you are good. Just keep your eyes on alert, stay on the far left, you know, keep looking right, keep seeing if people are about to swerve through or something like that, and that's it. And you know what, if you run a sports bike and you're always stuck in traffic, the bike gets hot, my temperature just dropped down like 30-40 degrees Fahrenheit already from just being in traffic, slow moving traffic, to getting this bike moving and, you know, cooling the bike off. As a new rider myself, and even as a rider who tries to stay safe, it's hard not to get the zoomies. You know, we get these things because they're fast, they're exciting. They're exciting vehicles, you know, they accelerate like a freaking missile. They're very nimble and everything, and it's hard not to just get the zoomies. I understand. No matter how safe you ride, it's hard not to let it loose. Whether on the highway, a secluded road, anything. Now, I want to talk about maintenance because I haven't done too much maintenance on this bike yet. I'm going to be doing an oil change and a coolant flush soon. But the cost for maintenance is, I believe, still the same for the parts. Like, even if I just get the genuine Kawasaki oil and oil filter, it's still coming out to like 60-70 bucks, which is the same as, you know, getting your oil and an oil filter for a car. It still comes out to the same thing. The only difference is it's easier to work on. Everything on here is much easier to work on. I feel like it's very easy to do. Very easy task. However, it still costs the same. Like, motorcycle tires still cost the same amount as car tires. You're just buying 2 of them instead of 4. Oh yeah, every once in a while my hand gets a little tingly and numb. I gotta go ahead and let that off. For some reason, cars always want to race me, and for some reason my camera's always off when I do. Everyone always wants you to rev. Everyone's always gonna be like, and then you do it and they're like, okay, cool, thanks. Which, you know, it's a nice feeling of appreciation. Honestly, I still like it, but there are times where I've gotten a little annoyed, you know, like everyone, maybe teenagers or something, they're like, rev it, bro, rev it, and I'm like, I don't want to sit here and rev bomb at a light, you know, so I'll just give them a baby, I'll give them one of those. Ooh, icy curve. Hello. Oh yeah. So I am the short rider, but you know, the whole like nuts on tank thing, I don't get it, man. Like, that's how I started riding. I used to keep my freaking balls slapping on this tank, right? After a while, I kind of realized, all right, let me just scoot back a little bit. I'm on the balls of my feet. You know, I'm a little bit more hunched around how these straight arms anymore. I got a little slight bend in my elbows out. It is just so much easier to maneuver the bike like this, man. I don't know why I was doing the whole nuts on tank, straight arm, upright back thing. I'll do it because, you know, it feels better on the back sometimes, and you know, you just sit up, rest a hand on your arm, or maybe rest an arm on the tank. Did I say rest a hand on the arm? Rest a hand on the leg, or rest an arm on the tank. Very comfortable riding positions. It's nice to just give yourself the comfortable position of just sitting upwards, and then just keeping a hand on a leg, or you know, just go ahead and slapping your arm across the tank like this and just be relaxed while you ride, you know. Cardos are king, because music really does change your experience while riding. As long as you're still able to hear everything else around you, being able to listen to music or take a phone call real quick without having to touch your phone or pull over or have GPS on, you know, it really changes the whole riding experience, makes it real easy. Yeah guys, those are some of the things that I've learned, or things I've figured out while riding. Very loose subject, very, very loose. By the way, shout out to you guys. I'm at 400 something subscribers, 410, 411. I think I've had this channel open for like 2 weeks, and you guys have been doing fantastic. My video why I started on a 600cc motorcycle, man, you guys are just eating that video up. I love it. Thank you very much. You guys have a good day, blessed day. Be safe, 2 wheels down.